at you. Good Monday, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Yes, it is Monday, a great week ahead of us. And, folks, it is another triple dip, Matthew.
You want to get the rant out of the way first?
No, I'm good. Triple dip. I think it's the last time this year that it happens, though.
All right.
Agreed?
Yes, we have the Elite Series on Lake Fork kicking off at Bass Fest. I believe they're doing the catchway release, but it is your best 5 that count, and you can bring in an over, I think, which is like a 9 or 10 pounder on 4, which will probably happen. So that is going on. Then the FLW Tour kicks off on Lake Chickamauga, and then the MLF Bass Pro Tour is on Smith Lake. Jeffries, all 3 of these events will be impacted by something that you love to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I actually have that on my list. I was watching it over the weekend because I had to do some work around here. All right. I am all about the weather. I looked to see what the forecast was going to be like. There is torrential downpours projected to happen this week, so I went out and I cleaned the gutters. You ever cleaned a gutter, Matthew?
Back home, I have, yes. For my dad.
It's miserable. Miserable work. But the weather is going to be a massive, massive factor for all 3 trails this week. They're calling for severe weather later on today here in the region. We're only about 4.5 hours away from Lake Fork. That stuff's going to move on to the Chick, and then it's going to move on to Smith Lake, and then it's just going to redo again and rebuild up, and the weather is definitely going to impact what takes place this week, Matthew.
Storms forecast for every day of practice and the tournament at Lake Fork Wednesday through Sunday, which is their off day, so all 4 days on Chickamauga, and then Smith is going to get the least of it, but rain and showers Thursday through Sunday on Smith Lake. Now, they kick off tomorrow, so they'll get a couple days of good weather before it starts to come in, but I am sure, considering that Lake Fork doesn't have great cell service.
It does not.
It sucks to have a camera in the rain, and they know that they are head-to-head against 2 other leagues that the head honchos of all 3 live stream events going on are probably got the stress ball out.
Yeah, they're a little stressed out. And here's the deal with Fork. It is very challenging to begin with because the cell service around there. Now, who knows? There is technology available, Matthew, that you can bring in what they call boost towers, and maybe they're doing that for this event. Possibly. I don't know. I haven't heard that because the cell service around Lake Fork is just horrendous.
I'm sure they've got a game plan.
So you throw that in there with the weather, and it's going to make for a massively challenging week for the bass crew. Now, Smith Lake, there's some areas on Smith Lake for Major League Fishing. They're going to have some challenges there too. And then the Chick is just the Chick, depending on where the guys are fishing. Obviously, with only doing 2 days alive, they should be able to maneuver, hopefully, if the weather's not a big factor. The weather's going to be a huge factor. Anyway, good week this week. Obviously, with the triple dip, we wanted to cover all 3 trails on our 3 shows this week. Today, we're going to have a treat because the guy's going to take 15, 20 minutes out of his day 1 practice to actually kind of set things up for us on what's going to go down at Lake Fork this week. We're going to have Keith Combs on, who has to be one of the favorites, Matthew, would you say?
I would have said that before I read the column that he posted on Bassmaster that said, yeah, everyone thinks I'm the favorite. I've only fished the place 5 or 6 times. Lee Livesey is probably the prohibitive favorite on that. He has a lot of days on there. He's got it on Fork, been on Fork a lot of the times. Is having a heck of a year on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yeah, did I not say one of the favorites? I didn't say the favorite.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, Lee's in 14th in the end of the year, too. Right. So, yeah, no, I was talking about that, too, with the Buddy Gross. He's got a Chickamauga wrap there for the FLW Tour. And then if we want to talk about favorites, Mark, do you want to take a bet with me? I told you I was going to offer you
What's
a bet.
the bet? I like to wager every now and then.
And I'm not sure which way I want to go on this. Let's put, you know what? I don't have any signed money from you. I don't.
That's because I don't wager with you that much.
Let's do
You got the golden nugget in your pocket
let's
right there.
do
What is
a
it?
signed 5, but I'm going to give you a decided advantage in this, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Smith Lake coming up. Major League Fishing.
Yep. I'm waiting.
You have to do it before I tell you. Before I go into the stats.
I'm not doing that. I don't care, man.
I'm going to
$5
give
is
you
$5.
an Alabama angler winning it.
No.
You won't take that?
I won't take that.
Okay,
Absolutely
can
not.
we flip it and I'll take it that an Alabama angler wins it? For a signed 5?
How many Alabama anglers are in the
yes
field?
or no? I did my homework. Yes or no? You
Just
got it.
tell me how many
I
are in
can't
the
tell you
field.
right now. That's part of the reason after.
So you have no idea how many are in the field?
I don't know. Signed 5. I'm saying yes, an Alabama angler wins it. You're saying no. There's 80 guys.
So I get the field minus Alabama for
Right.
$5. All right, I'll take that bet.
All right, you get 80% of the field. I get 20% of the field, including Jordan Lee, Dustin Cannell, Aaron Martins, Mark Daniels Jr., Randy Howell, Keith Poche, Chris Lane, Greg Vincent, Gerald Swindle, Justin Atkins, Tim Horton, Russ Lane, Matt Lee, Boyd Duckett, Justin Lucas, and Jesse Wiggins.
That's pretty funny because normally I am big on the HFA. I'm not taking it this time because I think the game is totally different. Totally different.
Okay,
When it comes to the HFA.
I'll take those 16 guys.
So I got.
You got the field.
What is that? 64 guys?
You got 64 guys.
All right.
I got 16, including
I'll take that bet for $5.
including Jesse Wiggins, who has won twice on that.
I find it very interesting, though. I'll take that bet.
Okay.
64. I'm good with that.
Okay. I feel like I just robbed the bank there.
It's
but
$5. All right.
Yep,
Anyway,
signed 5.
Signed 5. I'm good with that. All right. On Tuesday, tomorrow, we're going to talk Major League Fishing. We're going to have the guy on. What is the one characteristic about Jarrett Littner in this year's season, Matthew? Any idea? One very distinct characteristic.
Spinning rod?
No. I mean, it might be. but that's
Mustache?
not-
Catching?
No.
California?
No.
One distinct characteristic
Yeah.
in this year's field?
Yes. Through 4 events.
He's done well in all of them?
That's no. It is. He has more earnings than anybody else in the field that does not have a win.
Oh, okay.
He has over $91,000 in earnings this year. I think he's sitting in 3rd or 4th in the standings.
No, he's
Is that
third.
right?
He's third.
Third or 4th, 91,000 in earnings, and does not have a victory. And I thought, you know what? Let's give this guy some love. Let's find out what's going on. Why so much success? And he said, no problem. He does not fish on Tuesday, so we're going to get him on Tuesday morning and talk a little bit about his season and what's going on in Jarrett Littner's. And where's the jersey? Is the jersey still down in the corner down there?
What?
that
Oh,
right?
wait.
I just thought of that.
Holy cow. What year is this?
It's a long time ago, man.
He doesn't
We'll
have
talk.
any of these same sponsors. I think he's still got Jackal, doesn't he?
That is the Jarrett Littner jersey that he wore in his
Look at the big Bass Zone logo on that.
in the
see.
Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, no. He got Tackle Warehouse.
Yeah.
I think the cat's been sleeping on this.
Yeah, probably.
He had Tackle Warehouse, True Tungsten,
Oh, there's a blast from the past.
Yamaha, Berkeley. His title was apparently BassZone.com.
He
Look
had
how
nobody.
big that is.
He had nobody.
Did you pay him for that?
No.
A little bit?
I think I don't know. I don't remember. Dude, it was 10, 15
Abu
years ago.
Garcia, Jackal. I think he's still
Yeah.
with Jackal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still with
So,
Jackal.
a very-
Robo-Worm and Powell. He's got
very
his own
cool-
rod. He's got his own rod company now. He's moving up in the world.
That's a
this
very-
this was kind of the hybrid dye sub. It's like the feel of the jerseys today, but everything's
Yeah.
still embroidered on it.
Yeah.
The bass patch is actually a bass patch sewn on.
Yeah. That's vintage right there. So we'll have Jarrett on. And then on Wednesday, a treat, an off day on the FLW side. We're going to have the all-time leading money winner, Mr. David Dudley, on the show, get his take on so much. He's having a great year, too. 5th place in the points.
Yeah, the last
Catching 'em
time
pretty good.
he was on with us, I was not in studio. You actually had Gary Judici in studio, and the man was hunting raccoons.
That's right.
That was the last time.
We talked about
Didn't
that.
he get stuck in a fence?
Got stuck in a fence.
Had to go because he was stuck in a barbed wire fence.
Yeah, we talked about that last night when I was setting it up. So great week, good week, triple dipping this week, all 3 trails going down on stuff. Now, I want to talk about one thing real quick, and then we're going to take a break because we need to go to Keith. We're probably going to have Keith for about 20 minutes. And then I just found out we're going to have a special guest on about what is that? 9:15 Central
Today?
Time today. I just got a text.
An angler?
Yeah, I just got a text.
From what tour?
It's a mystery.
An angler that's fishing this week.
Yes. Yeah. He sent me a text and he's like, "Hey man," because I initially asked him to come on Wednesday and he couldn't come on Wednesday. And he's like, "Hey man, I got a good signal. How about if I come on
so
for
it's probably an Elite Series guy.
4 or 5 minutes
signal.
here?" So,
all right. We also
We'll
got to
see.
talk about what went down this past week. It'll take 30 seconds. So hit it, whatever you got next.
on what? The one-on-one stuff?
No, there was a Central Open and a Costa.
Oh, yeah, the HFA, the Costa guy has won $1 bazillion on Santee Cooper.
Well, he hasn't won a bazillion. He's from South. Yeah, he's from South Carolina.
That's his home lake.
Are we
He
gonna talk
talks
about it now, real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. Bradford Beavers. Do you realize how good this kid is?
Yeah, we're going to have him on next week.
Okay, I covered him when he was on Grand. He was up the Elk throwing a shaky head when I
Yeah.
did the FLW live. But
Yeah.
I went back and I said, man, I've heard this guy's name a lot. I know he's
Yeah.
won a little bit, but the dude has had 3 wins since 2017. He won a BFL, he won the Costa Championship, and now he just won the Costa on Santee. And since 2017, he's had 8 top 10s
Yeah.
in BFL competition, Costa Series Championship, FLW Tour, and FLW Cup.
Yeah, we're going to try and get him on next week.
That's impressive as
That's
hell.
the goal. Yeah. But he did it on his home body of water, and then the dude from Wisconsin
Where
won.
did he come from? He's fished 2 Bassmaster Opens.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive. So we'll get into that. All right, a couple of things real quick.
Caleb
I have an
Cuphall.
announcement. I just received the email this morning. Dude, we are going to have Oklahoma versus Texas, even though it's kind of Oklahoma versus Oklahoma. When we do these one-on-one live things, and by the way, folks, I just want to say thank you also. We have surpassed the 100,000 view mark on YouTube with the one-on-one live Gerald Swindle versus Jordan Lee. We did that on Friday, I believe. I got a text. So greatly appreciate everybody watching that. We wanted to do in talking, because TH is a big part of these one-on-one lives, we wanted to showcase all 3 tours in this. So we've done an MLF. Our next one is going to be an FLW, and it's going to feature somebody that we're very close to, and it's going to be Oklahoma versus Texas, even though some people may think that he's from Oklahoma, but he's not from Oklahoma. He's originally from Texas.
Tour champ versus tour champ?
Yes. All right, we're going to have Andrew Upshaw versus Bradley Hallman, May 14th on Grand Lake, one-on-one live. We'll see who gets it done. All right.
May 14th. That's coming up.
Yep, May 14th, one-on-one live, Bradley Hallman versus Andrew Upshaw.
3 hours.
3 hours, one-on-one in a confined area on Grand Lake. And both of these guys very familiar with Grand Lake, and hopefully Grand Lake will show us what it's all about. And I know we're getting ready to have 2 events. This is prior to those 2 events taking place on Grand Lake.
Okay.
So
all I'm saying is, you know what the forecast is supposed to be next week?
I haven't looked that far ahead.
Yeah, it's going to rain like 7-8 days in a row. Then it's going to be early May. We need one more rain shower. I don't care what section you pick.
Yeah.
But if we're doing a one-on-one live and Brad Hallman's in it, there better be some damn willows that he can flip.
That's not true. That's what he would want.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we got to give him. That's what the people want, Mark. If
they're gonna
Grand
get a
is in
ton-
the bushes
Dude,
and you screw him out of a section without willows in it, people don't log in to watch Brad Hallman fish docks.
Did
They
I say I
log
was
in.
going to do that? You're assuming something that I'm not going to do.
I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
that stupid, okay? With all the rain coming in this week, I would feel very strongly that the water quite possibly might be in the willows. Quite possibly.
I mean,
So we'll
you could
see.
charge admission to that.
Yeah, so that's going to be our FLW one-on-one live, and then we are going to be doing one in, when is the Gunnersville event for bass? Can you remember off the top of your head?
Nope.
The week following the Gunnersville event, we are going to feature 2 Elite Series pros, not on Lake Gunnersville, but on Lake Weiss, which is real close to Lake Gunnersville.
Spotted bass deal?
I don't think so. That's not what the person that I was talking to get this set up. All right. It's going to be very entertaining. I'll say this. One of them is an Alabama pro.
On
One
the
of them-
Elite Series.
On the Elite Series. And then the other guy will be an Elite Series guy too. And then we're going to wrap up with a super match that's going to take place in the fall. So the one-on-one lives are pretty much all set.
I mean, a super match.
Super match. 2 big names, man.
Well, they're
Two
all
bi-
big names.
Two super match names.
Super match
all right?
names.
That's going to take place in the fall. We're working
I heard
on
you
this.
talking about this one. Yeah, this will be a good one.
Super match. All right. That's what I'm calling it. So very, very exciting times for a lot of stuff to come. And then we have to mention, we'll talk about it here in a few minutes, the one-on-one live lake challenge. Nobody got it. Guys came close. You know, they had an opportunity, especially Andy Littlejohn.
Explain what was going on. Because some people just don't watch all the shows. It takes 20 seconds. Just set the context.
Basically, it was one angler against the lake to surpass a weight within a 60-minute period.
8 pounds.
8 pounds was the threshold that they needed to surpass.
Put 3 guys on Grand Lake. Strike King presented it. They
Yeah.
paid $250. They got $100 in Strike King stuff. We put them on the lake. They went live.
One guy had 4 something. Andy Littlejohn caught a 4-pounder in the first 3 minutes and could not close the deal. And then the other guy had 2 fish, and it was just over 5 pounds. I think it was.
Andy needed 3, a 70 something, and the
Yeah.
other guy needed a 2.5. Andy Littlejohn said that when he landed that 4-pounder, he was shaking more than when he shot his first deer.
Yeah. I don't know about that. So fun stuff to come. We're going to have another one. We're going to announce that schedule coming up here just within probably the next 7 to 10 days on the next one that we're going to have in there. All right, what'd you do this weekend, man? And then we're going to come back, take a break, and hopefully join Keith Combs.
Continued my quest to fish all 3 circuits available. Fish the Major League Fishing style out there on 10 Killer. And then yesterday went and practiced.
Oh, yeah, and I think the quote, what was the quote? This is too easy. I think that's the quote.
No,
you told me.
I
This
didn't
is
say
super
that.
Easy.
I
this
went
is
out.
too easy.
I
right
went out
here.
and I threw a Ned rig, and we caught 27 1-pound fish.
It's too easy. It's too easy. I blew away the field.
No,
I think
didn't
is the quote
say
that.
that.
You said that.
I didn't say that. Well, it ended up happening. We won.
But you did,
we
didn't you?
did.
Didn't
Yeah,
you?
we had it. It was a team tournament, so I had a great partner, and I found one little stretch where there were a ton of 1.5-pound
That's
fish.
playing the game.
And I never left. I told him, I said, dude, we'd be out there in the waves, but we're catching one every 10 minutes.
That's playing
so
the
we
game,
sat
dude.
there and we caught 27-pound to 2-pound fish, got paid, and then I went to Sardis yesterday to practice for the Bass Nation.
People are wanting to know about that, about the nation.
What about it?
Josh wants to know, what's your take on Sardis coming up?
I have no take on Sardis. It's weird. The water's a weird color anyway. It's hard to practice.
It's just a
in it
weird lake.
because you can't get to the bank. I spent an hour hung up going, well, this boat's never going to get off of these stumps. You get off one stump and get wedged in another one. Then you're like, oh, maybe they're offshore. Then
It's
you
just
can
a
go
weird
and
lake.
it's a look it up on Google Earth, folks,
It's
and
a
you'll
weird
see what
lake.
I mean. Sardis
Yeah.
Lake in Oklahoma.
Weird lake. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, hopefully with Keith Combs. Everybody stay tuned on a Monday.
Sleek new design with easy control file. The clearest images underwater with uncompromising range. Live mapping from the touchscreen. View notifications, video, even Google Maps on screen. And for the first time ever, real-time view of fish movements with live sight sonar. HDS Live. New from Lowrance.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
AFCO has a new foul weather rain suit called the Hydronaut. A lot of the features that I really like about it first is the speed vent hood. If it's raining out, you know how a person gets wet is when you run down the lake and the hood comes down. With the speed vent hood, it's going to stay up. It has a camera mount in the pocket on the chest. The Hydronaut has a 2-layer, 100% waterproof nylon shell. If you're interested in a rain suit that has a lot of cool features that's going to keep you dry, you need to check out the Hydronaut from AFCO.
Aaron Martins here. I'm going to be telling you about a new product by Sunline. It's Siglon PE x8. I've been using it almost extensively all year for my frogging, flipping, drop shotting, shaky heading, worming, jerk baiting. It's by far my favorite Sunline braid. I honestly, I don't say this unless I think it's true, but honestly it's the best braid in the market of any of the braids. Definitely check it out. It's a price point line, $14.95 for 165 yards, and that could last you a whole year, just one spool with using leader material. It's Siglon PE x8. It's my favorite braid, and I think if you use it, it'll be your favorite braid too.
Pros depend on hydraulic jack plates to get the best out of their boats. Do what they do. Demand Atlas performance. Atlas gets you from the bottom to the top in less than 8 seconds, even with the big 4 strokes. And when you gotta turn right around and get that heavy load back up in rough water, Atlas's innovative design and American-made components will get you there with confidence.
I'm at Depot. Just look for yourself. There's an Atlas jack plate on just about every professional's boat.
The Atlas hydraulic jack plate. You can depend on it.
Sleek new design with easy control file. The clearest images underwater with uncompromising range. Live mapping from the touchscreen. View notifications, video, even Google Maps on screen. And for the first time ever, real-time view of fish movements with live sight sonar. HDS Live. New from Lowrance.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
AFCO has a new foul weather rain suit called the Hydronaut. A lot of the features that I really like about it first is the speed vent hood. If it's raining out, how a person gets wet is when you run down the lake and the hood comes down. With the speed vent hood, it's going to stay up. It has a camera mount in the pocket on the chest. The Hydronaut has a 2-layer, 100% waterproof nylon shell. If you're interested in a rain suit that has a lot of cool features that's going to keep you dry, you need to check out the Hydronaut from AFCO.
Aaron Martins here. I'm going to be telling you about a new product by Sunline. It's Siglon PE x8. I've been using it almost extensively all year for my frogging, flipping, drop shotting, shaky heading, worming, jerk baiting. It's by far my favorite Sunline braid. I honestly, I don't say this unless I think it's true, but honestly it's the best braid in the market of any of the braids. Definitely check it out. It's a price point line, $14.95 for 165 yards, and that could last you a whole year, just one spool with using leader material. It's Siglon PE x8. It's my favorite braid, and I think if you use it, it'll be your favorite braid too.
Pros depend on hydraulic jack plates to get the best out of their boats. Do what they do. Demand Atlas performance. Atlas gets you from the bottom to the top in less than 8 seconds, even with the big 4 strokes. And when you gotta turn right around and get that heavy load back up in rough water, Atlas's innovative design and American-made components will get you there with confidence.
I'm at Depot. Just look for yourself. There's an Atlas jack plate on just about every professional's boat.
The Atlas hydraulic jack plate. You can depend on it.
All right, we are back on a Monday. Little extended break there, but we are ready to go to our special guest today. Hopefully give us some insight on what's going to go down on Lake Fork with the Toyota Texas Fest. Did I say it right, Matthew?
Also known as the Keith Combs Invitational.
That's not true.
Also known as the TTBC in years past. Has he made $1 million between Texas Fest and the TTBCs?
I don't know.
I bet he's made $1 million.
I don't
Big
think so.
crystal vases.
Cool trophies.
Belts.
Yeah.
Prestige. Front page headlines.
All right,
I'm not joking either.
Keith, you there, man?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Hey, thanks for taking time out. I know it's day one. We won't keep you that long, but really appreciate you hopefully giving us some insight on what's going to go down at Lake Fork this week. And already people on the instant feedback, they want to know, is this going to be a spawn or a post-spawn event, Keith?
I believe it'll be both. And I mean, I think 50-50. It's Lake Fork is full. The water's real full, so there's good shoreline cover. That's going to keep a lot of them shallow. And we're a little bit earlier than we've ever been here, about a week earlier. And, that changes things. We got cloud cover and kind of a cool week in the forecast. So I think there's going to be some good ones caught out, but there's going to be a lot of really good ones caught on the spawn. And it may just be a combination of both to get it done this week.
Keith, let me ask you this question. Will Dean Rojas or Paul Elias lose any sleep this week? I'm serious. 45-2 or 132 pounds. In 2014, you had 110 pounds in 3 days. I'm just asking, is there a chance, as slight as it is there a chance that either of those records are scared?
There's a great chance. I mean, 45 is not something that happens often, but 130, that could be broken very easily here. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of century belts, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'd love to see this tournament maybe a couple weeks later, and I would say, heck yeah, you're definitely going to see the 4-day record fall. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Kind of set it up for the fans. I know it's early, obviously day one of practice, but what are the conditions like? What does the lake look like? And how much do you think that the locals and everybody that fishes Lake Fork is going to have an impact on this week, Keith?
Well, cloudy, rainy conditions. I mean, there's rain every single day in the forecast. Not really what I was wanting to see. In fact, on Wednesday, there's supposed to be 3 inches of rain here at least. So I think over the course of next week, we're scheduled to have like 6 inches total of rain. That's going to change a few things. This lake gets a ton of pressure. That's, nothing new. And you have to factor that in. I mean, you're not going to go out and win this tournament on one hole. There's no way. You can't do that here. So those will be a factor for sure. The watercolor's kind of stained right now. I saw a little shad spawn going on this morning, but very, very little. The only thing I caught on it was white bass. But I hadn't really figured them out yet. I'm just trying to get a kind of a handle on, what stage these fish are. I'm trying to stay away from the spawning fish. I just don't think that's my best option to win, and I feel like that's what a lot of guys are going to end up fishing for, even though they can't see them, frogs and things like that up shallow. But it's going to be a good weight tournament, no doubt about it.
I thought it was a very interesting column that you penned over on Bassmaster where you talked about your confidence while simultaneously pointing out that you have not spent as much time on Lake Fork as other Texas fisheries. there are several other guys in the field who have a ton of experience on Lake Fork too. In your opinion, is this a lake that guys who have never fished it can come and figure it out, or do the Texas guys, you, Wendlandt, Livesey, the other guys, really kind of have a decided advantage this week?
I think Livesey is really the only one who's got much knowledge of this place. The tier, I fished it 4 or 5 times, and I really like the way it sets up. I mean, it's a lot like a Falcon. And we fished lakes in this area, Cedar Creek and Richland Chambers and places like that really are a lot like Fork. And that's kind of where I cut my teeth on those type of lakes. But I do think that maybe a guy who's got some past knowledge is going to have some benefits here. I mean, it's a hard lake to navigate. Just getting that out of the way, that's a big plus. And just, we're in a transition. Patterns are going to be falling apart, and new patterns are going to be developing with the weather changing and the time of year. So a guy who knows how to get a little clue every day and kind of run with that, I do believe that's going to be an advantage. And I think the guy who goes out and figures them out today, his pattern will be done before the Monday final weigh-in. So you're going to have to adapt.
So what the heck do you do? You just said the pattern's going to be done. You got a bunch of guys who, will take a week off to go fish. What is it, a Bass Nation Regional or a BFL or something? So now you're in that position. So now teach us, what do you do 3 days in advance? All this crap is coming in. You just said what you see to find today probably isn't going to work. So what are you doing today? I mean, not what are you doing today, but what do you do today to make it beneficial come Thursday?
I know the styles of fishing that I like to do, and I'm just looking for a couple areas where I can get a bite or maybe see a few fish on the graph, see some bait on an area, somewhere they're going to be possibly coming to. And then at that point, it's just, running around and hitting those type of places during the event, playing the conditions. But, I'm not – the thing is there may not be a big school of fish on a place right now, but – maybe in 5 days from now, there could be. So, I've caught 3 or 4 fish this morning. Maybe those places will load with big numbers of fish. I need to get a depth in my head and maybe 2 to 3 different types of lures, depths and things like that I can concentrate on. And I'll feel really good. Even if I'm only catching 6 or 7 fish a day, I know there's an outside chance that they're coming to me.
All right, 2 more questions from the instant feedback, and then we'll let you go. Josh in Kentucky wants to know, do you think that the chatterbait will have a role this week as it's had in all the other tournaments?
Absolutely. I mean, on a place like that's a tremendous bait to catch a big fish. And, it's got a big presence, a lot of vibration. That's kind of what you want on a place like Fork with the shad spawn going on and, fish just kind of getting outside of their spawning areas. I do think that'll be a player, and somebody in the top 10 is going to crack them on that for sure.
All right, David in Wisconsin, triple digits to win?
No doubt about it.
All right, there you have it. All right, my last question is, what do you have to do this week, Keith, to get the W? What is the biggest factor for you to win this week?
I just, like we were just talking earlier, I feel like I kind of need to find those fish that are coming to me, try to stay away from the spawn as best I can, even though, I'm not getting many bites so far and the bank's calling me. I need to find those ones on the outside, even if they're not deep, something just a little bit different and just run a pattern, maybe have a little bit of old history come in. I think that'll help me.
All right, man. Good stuff. We greatly appreciate you taking time out to be on BTL today. Hopefully gave the fans a little bit of insight on what's to come here on Lake Fork. Be safe this week, man. Weather's going to be brutal.
Yeah, we're going to need some rain suits, no doubt, here before this one's done. But thanks for the call, guys, and appreciate talking to y'all.
All right, man. Take care, Keith.
Okay.
All right, see you. There you have it, Keith Combs, and has to be one of the favorites this week.
Absolutely. He is sitting currently in 40th place, which has to be one of the big shocks of the season. Going in, there were numerous articles penned by very established outdoor writers saying, God, this Keith is going to be a bloodbath. Keith Combs is just going to murder everybody in this season.
He's got a couple of 40s. I think he had
a
60.
top 10 in there, but he's stumbled a little bit. But here's the crazy thing with the only 75, the top 40 in the standings do make the Bassmaster Classic. I think the winner of this event does also make the Bassmaster Classic automatically. So a very mediocre season for Keith Combs based on Keith Combs' standing with what we've seen him do on the Elite Series in the past. But here's the other unique thing that I didn't realize, and it's harder probably with fewer anglers, with everyone getting more points in each event than with 110. It's harder. But, currently tied at the top is Patrick Walters and Scott Canterbury. Well, Keith Combs is all the way down there in 40, middle of the pack with 253 points. He's basically 100 points out with 4 or 5 events left in the season. So I don't think, if he rips it off here, we've seen what he's been able to do up north. He's still not out of it for the Angler of the Year, even though that his first half has gone nothing like we had envisioned it. Would you agree?
I agree.
And they're going to some, Patrick Walters, when we had him on, he said he was excited to come out west. Speaking about Lake Fork and Fort Gibson.
That is west.
I'm just saying.
That is west.
And Scott Canterbury is going to catch
now,
him
when is Fort Gibson? It's 2 weeks, right? They got a week off.
I think so, yeah.
They got a week in between, and then they go to Gibson. Okay, what happens, and folks across America, you guys probably don't know this, when we get 4, 5, 6 inches of rain here in Oklahoma,
Gibson comes up about 15 feet.
And they get on the picnic table pattern because the water is all the way up in the campgrounds.
Anything with cement under it.
Where the picnic tables are. And it turns into a totally, totally different body of water because they dump so much water out of Grand Lake into Fort Gibson, it becomes more of a holding tank for water than it does anything else.
And then if they want to get rid of it, they'll drop it 4 feet in a day.
Yeah.
And you can literally watch the and one more thing I want to point out about this. We're talking about everybody who's catching them on Lake Fork, and Keith had 110 pounds, 15 fish in 2014. You know who also smoked him in that event?
Who's that?
In that event on Lake Fork, the TTBC, who is on fire right now.
Who is that?
Guess.
Dude, I don't know.
We just had him on the show.
I don't know.
Stetson.
I'm multitasking here.
Stetson
really?
Blaylock.
Really?
Yeah. He almost kept pace with those guys. I think he had over 100 pounds cranking in that event too. So
wow. All right. What else, Matthew? I am working on having our special guest on, and he's going to be on live via Skype. Hopefully, if it works.
Oh, live via Skype? Are we live via Skyping from Fork?
No.
Oh, so it's not Lake Fork?
No.
Are we live via Skyping from
Not yet. I got to get it set up. No, we are not.
Are we live via Skyping from Chickamauga?
Yes, we are.
Is it Brad?
No, it is not.
It's not Brad?
No. So if you could, he's looking. No,
are you kidding me? This guy's going to be on the show more than Van Damme now.
Dude, who's number one right now?
That's a fair point.
All right. There's a reason.
You really like this dude. I do too. I'm just
what he is doing this year
is very impressive.
Yeah. And I really wanted to get him on I wanted to get him on Wednesday, but he is tied up on Wednesday.
That's what happens when you lead the angler.
Well, no, he's doing something really cool.
Year.
He's
you
doing
have
something
sponsor
cool.
Obligations.
He's picking his mom up at the airport.
Oh.
So that's very, very cool.
I guess I should probably invite my parents to the Table Rock Costa. That's only like 4 hours away.
No. So let's see if this will work. I don't know. Miles, you there, man?
I am here.
All right. Let me cue this up. There we have it. Right there, your 2019 FLW Angler of the Year point standings leader, live via Skype. Miles, thanks for taking time out, dude. I thought it'd be cool. Give us a take. You guys have already had 1 day of practice on Chick. And is that your home lake now? Would you classify that as your home lake?
I mean, as far as proximity, yes. As far as experience, absolutely not. I've spent a lot of time on Chick, but I still have a lot to learn. And there's a lot of periods, including what we're going through right now, that I haven't really experienced and really dialed in. And Chick right now is just right in the middle of, spawn and post-spawn. So it's kind of that weird between zone.
All right, 1 day of practice in the books, plus you had a little bit this morning. Kind of fill the fans in on what we can expect and really how your practices went so far.
So first off, I'm not expecting anything different from Chick as far as the weights. It's Chickamauga. They're going to be big. It's going to take 15 and a half pounds to even. I'd say high 14s, low 15s to make a check a day. And it's going to take in the 20s a day to take home the win. So, as far as the weights, it's going to be pretty standard. But as far as conditions, like I alluded to earlier, is right now we've got a lot of fish that are still on the beds. And we've also got fish that are kind of funneling out. But the biggest factor that is really holding these fish kind of shallow and kind of in that in-between zone is the water coming up. On a lake where you don't have a lot of water fluctuation and it kind of stays stable, I think that the fish by now would be in post-spawn. But on the Tennessee River and especially Chickamauga, that between winter and summer pool, it's about 7 foot difference. Those fish wait until it gets all the way up before they finalize the spawn and then head out to the ledges full time.
So it sounds like it's not going to be grouped up like we've seen in past years and past tournaments on Chickamauga, where it's just 40 boats in certain areas.
I think that they're always offshore. Yesterday I kind of hung around the lower portion of lake or lower mid portion of lake, Harrison Bay, Chester Frost, the real standard areas. Went out and looked at a lot of the offshore spots that I've traditionally done well on. And there's definitely some fish funneling out there. And I found one big school, which, there's 2 people in line waiting to idle it right after me. So that's pretty much Chickamauga.
Oh, man.
Wait, is BTL holding up the idle line right now? Like, are you in listen? They're like, what is this? Who the heck is this guy on the phone with? Let's go. We got to idle this spot.
Oh.
Right. Well, right now, the funny thing was yesterday, like I said, I ran a lot of those spots and I've really got comfortable fishing some of these offshore spots when it's just solid post-spawn. But right now, I'm not as good of a offshore fisherman enough to fish it where it's only sort of starting to happen. So I had to do a 180 today and go to places that I haven't fished before on this lake just to start, getting away from history and just start fishing the conditions as they are right now.
All right, I got to ask, is topwater going to come into play, or is that just kind of bonus?
No, it'll come into play. There's definitely some topwater fish. I caught one this morning, in fact. I think that it's going to be the first tournament of the year where, it's going to play a major factor. Is somebody going to fish it all day? Absolutely not. I don't think that you can do that all day, but there's a good bite if you're in the right areas. Early and maybe possibly later in the day, but it will definitely play a factor.
Miles, has the phone been ringing a little bit more since you've taken over the lead of the Angler of the Year race?
It was funny. It actually rang more when I was in like second or third. Now it seems like everybody wants to leave me alone, not like bother me. But
not us. You're bothering them. So are we bothering you? Is that what you're saying?
I enjoy talking about it. Why not enjoy the experience of it when you have it? I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the next 2 events? So I have to enjoy the moment. That I am at the top. Hopefully at the end I'll be at the top too, though.
Has Scott Martin called you? Has he been like, hey, I'm coming after you, man?
No,
because he's in second.
Have people, whenever I post about Angler of the Year on like Instagram or Facebook, somebody will hashtag or they'll tag Scott Martin on it, like like you better get after this kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, man. Biggest factor for you to have success this week and continue the great year that you're having?
Really, the biggest factor is I think going to stay away from the things that I've done in the past here and focus on the things that are happening right now and in areas that I can kind of remain fluid. And, like yesterday, I was a mess out on the water practicing. I was throwing, the same tactics that I'd throw last June and focus on the same areas, and just wasn't doing any good. I wasn't able to like focus on what's happening right then and there. And then today I did, like we talked about last time, did a reset and did a complete 180 and started fishing a different part of the lake. So I think it's going to be just putting myself in a position to fish the moment instead of fish history.
All right, man. Anything else, Matthew?
No.
All right, that's great stuff, man. Thanks for taking time out. I know we wanted to get you on Wednesday, but it's cool that you're picking your mom up, and she's going to be there.
She's one of my biggest fans for sure. So she hasn't been able to see a weigh-in live for a while, so that's going to be pretty exciting.
All right, cool. All right, man. Best of luck to you this week. I know weather's going to be a factor, so stay safe, and we will talk to you soon, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
All right.
Talk to you later.
There you have it. There you have it. The current Angler of the Year leader in the FLW Angler of the Year race, Miles Burghoff.
There you go. So he's had a top 10, and now he's fished a lot of BFLs and stuff too.
Yeah.
But just to compare, he's had a top 10 in 25% of the tournaments he's fished with FLW. That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Scott Martin has had a 25%, top 10 in 22% of the FLW tournaments he's fished. Now, I know a lot more of those are tour events, and Scott has the wins, but just saying early on in the career, he's keeping pace. I was going to compare it with Brian Thrift, but that's like 40%. So 39%.
Yeah, don't want to compare it to him. All right, I want to ask you something, Matthew. Have you seen the latest Dick's Sporting Goods commercial?
Which one?
The latest one. It's the one with the president.
No.
You have not?
Nope.
So if you watched any outdoor television or anything that you've DVR'd?
I've either been here working on the boat or fishing. Like for the last, I
so you're like totally out of.
I didn't even watch Game of Thrones last night, Mark. That's how much out of the loop I am.
I'm not a big.
I haven't watched any of the Blues playoff run.
Jeez,
I haven't watched any.
You
NBA
need to get a freaking
playoff.
life.
I have a life.
Oh, by the way, this right here, dude. How many months is that?
This is. I shaved this.
You need to get rid of it.
This is an
it looks really bad.
Experiment. I know. I'm just gonna keep the mustache.
But then you look like a porn star.
Like I said, I'm just going to keep the mustache. No,
that is a bad look. I'm trying to help you out.
Well, what I've decided, Mark, I'm not shaving till I win the Bassmaster Classic.
Rip Van Winkle, then, huh? Is that what it's going to turn into? Jeez, man, the guy's going to his grave with a beard down to his ankles. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's what I was going. I mean, I saw Rick in the latest Bassmaster right here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I said that's this distinguished facial hair.
Yeah, but yours isn't gray yet. You're not that old. You're still a pup.
My problem is I've been growing it for 3 weeks. You could still see the skin underneath.
You have patches.
And then when the sunlight hits it, it's like a halo of hair around my chin. And I feel really awkward about it.
Yeah.
It might be gone by the end of the week. I don't know.
Yeah. Playoff beard, is that what it is? Man, some of those guys.
I have been fishing well, so I might keep it through Table Rock.
Beard.
I might keep it through Table Rock.
All right, I'll give you that one. That's all right. All right. Anyway, getting back to the Dick's Sporting Goods commercial, they have this brand new commercial about how, and I think I have it here. Hang on, let me see if I can get this pulled up. We had, let's see here. No, I'll have to find it. But anyway, it highlights how they are changing, how the stores are changing and improving and everything like that. And they show just about every single aspect of product. And when I say product, I'm not talking about every individual product.
Like golf,
but every
baseball,
area
basketball,
of the
football.
store except one.
Outdoors?
Yes.
Are they getting rid of it or not? I don't
think so.
And
why if they're getting rid of it, what is plastered all over the Bassmaster
Sporting Goods?
So you have this opportunity to showcase how you're supposedly making things better in your stores, but you fail to mention anything about the outdoors. I'm talking hunting and fishing.
I'll say this. You go into a Dick's Sporting Goods and you're not really expecting a world-class selection of stuff, and pretty much every time I go into one, I'm like, they have this? And I walk out of there with like $80 worth of stuff. Like they have like the Kitex and some of the cool little baits that you wouldn't expect a Dick's Sporting Goods to have. Some of the stuff that's like hard to find.
And some of it's on sale quite a few times.
Yeah. Actually, I need to go there after the show, Mark.
You know
You
what?
got one right around the corner.
I do.
What just happened?
Hang on.
You've had a worry. You've had what is it? A furrowed. Your brow has been furrowed. Furrowed. What's the word?
I don't know what that means.
Like a furrowed brow. Looking at that computer screen today numerous times.
Troubleshooting, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've done a lot of on-the-fly troubleshooting. What I do? 10 minutes before the show, I ask you a question. You said, "I don't have time to answer that."
Yeah. I want to pull this commercial up. I had it set up and then I had to reboot.
That's fine. We got the gist of it.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Let's see here. Okay, now let me see if I can do this over here.
Yeah, you furrow your brow, Mark. It's an expression that means worry or puzzlement.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you.
And I know some other people.
You've never heard of that?
No.
What was that word you were stuck on? Bamboozled?
Bamboozled.
You were
Hugger-muggered.
Yeah, you were stuck on that for...
Discombobulated.
Yeah. So did you hear what's now in the dictionary? Stan.
What?
Stan. The word stan is now in the dictionary as a like exuberant or overextended fan from the Eminem song Stan.
Really?
Yeah. So like that guy's a total stan. Like you're borderline stan with Miles Burghoff.
Dude, I'm just giving the guy props because he's having a hell of a season. I mean, how many people are going to be able to go, "Hey, man, you want to come on the show?"
No, I agree. It's good. It's
all right.
He's earned it. It's not like the guy's at 180th and we keep popping him on for no reason.
He's on because of why?
Because he's performing.
Yes. All right, let's see if I can get this queued up. All right, here we go. Let's see here.
Come visit the new Dick's Sporting Goods. You'll notice the amazing changes that our 40,000 hardworking teammates help bring to life. We have more apparel from the top brands. The best baseball and softball gear for beginners to experienced players. The hottest styles in footwear from brands like Nike and Adidas. And the latest drivers from Callaway and TaylorMade. We're always upping our game, so you can too. Visit us in store or online and see what's new.
All right, not a single mention.
Well, it obviously must not be that much massive of their... I mean,
so
I would imagine they sell more baseball stuff.
Dude, I'm not disagreeing with that statement. The point I'm trying to make on this is they are making a commitment to advertise and use promotional dollars to promote Dick's Sporting Goods in the game.
But they also didn't have basketball in there.
Yeah, they did. Nike.
Oh, they didn't have hockey. They have hockey in a lot of the games.
And only in certain markets.
They have a
in
large selection of ping pong paddles. I didn't see those.
You're missing the point. The point is they are spending an enormous amount of money in this industry. But when you have an opportunity to let people know that you are changing for the good of the consumer, there was no mention of anything from the outdoor standpoint. I don't know. There's a reason, obviously, but I don't understand why you would throw something out there and not cover when you're spending a pretty good amount of money promoting what you do for the outdoorsman.
It's a fair point. What was that outdoor store that you always used to drag Dave and I to when we were covering tournaments? It was like super depressing. It was usually in a strip mall with like half the strip mall closed.
I don't know.
Hibbit.
Oh, Hibbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those are okay. They're franchised.
You love a depressed Hibbit sports store.
Yeah. Now, a couple people on the instant feedback make a very valid point that the mass appeal of Dick's Sporting Goods is not for the outdoor segment. Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. The point and the fact of the matter is they're spending a lot of money in the outdoor industry to promote what they offer the consumer in their store. And that is a big, huge, campaign that they're doing right now about change and how the stores, because like when you leave here and you go to the Dick's Sporting Goods, it's right around the corner here, Matthew.
I'm going to go there today.
You will
because
notice
some of the stuff I need for table
things
rock.
are changing, and the stores are immaculate. The amount of selection that you have in certain areas of certain products is enormous, but when it comes to the outdoors, you're somewhat limited. I don't want to get into all the details why that is. All right. The only point I'm trying to make, hopefully I have made, and hopefully people understand.
I understand.
All right, man. What else? You haven't watched any hockey. I'm really disappointed in that.
I haven't.
There have been just some unbelievable games.
I've had a burning urge to catch a bass. Like I've been dialed in on that. Like it's
a burning urge. That has got to be the line of the year. Folks, Matthew has a burning urge
to catch a bass. Like it's that time of the year. They're biting all over. Dude, I live in an area where I've got lakes within 45 minutes.
If I lose that bet, I'm getting you a T-shirt. Not only a signed $5 bill, but I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says, I have a burning urge on the front, and then on the back it says, to catch a bass.
I could not wear that anywhere.
Why not? Why not?
That's like
that would be epic.
The girlfriend was like, I put the hat down, and I hadn't even thought about it, but I'd worn it to a couple barrel races, and she's like, oh, good, you're not wearing the power pole hat. And I was like, what? I like it. It fits. It's the Richardson 412. And she said, yeah, but it says power pole on it. She's like, no one knows what that means outside of the fishing industry. I was like, I had never thought about that. But no, dude, I've been fishing a lot.
I know you have, but I'm going to throw that into the wager.
3 days a week.
I've got a friend of mine that can knock that out pretty quick. So here, I got to write that down so I don't forget.
I'm not the first person to ever say that.
Who else has said that?
It's just that time of the year.
Yeah.
You can catch him doing anything you want.
Jeez, a burning urge.
My voice is starting to come back.
That is
rather
epic
annoying.
right there. All right, tomorrow, Jared Littner, we're going to talk about his masterful season so far. Doesn't have a W, but he does have $91,000 in earnings.
He's having fun.
Get his take on what's going down on the BPT. What else, Matthew? Anything else kicking off the week here besides your burning urge? Oh, my goodness. I guess I had a burning urge to clean out gutters this weekend is what I had.
Every once in a while you'll say something you regret, and that might be one of them for me.
No. Oh, heavens, no.
That might be one of them.
No. Not at all, man. That was epic. That's the line of the year so far. All right, Linder tomorrow. David Dudley on Wednesday. Want to thank Miles Burghoff for a special appearance this afternoon. And then also our special guest, Keith Combs, for giving us some insight on what's going down on Lake Fork with the Bassmaster Elite Series and the Toyota Texas Bass Fest. A triple dip this week. Somebody made the suggestion about having a watch party. I don't know if we could do that or not. I'll talk to you after the show. It was pretty cool, the idea that he came up with. So I'll bounce it off of you and see you.
Kind of like what Barry Switzer does during the OU games.
No, a little bit, but
just get all liquored up and they get all liquored up and put a camera on you and you just commentate what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, everybody, be safe. Rain is coming across the Midwest and the South. Everybody be safe. We will talk to you tomorrow with Jared Littner. We're out of here.